The crown was already in the room, not placed on her head, not locked away, just close enough to notice. And in the quiet that followed the ceremony, with the doors finally closed, she understood something she had never been warned about. Not days later, not weeks later. That night. History records how long she was queen. It does not record the moment she understood what the crown truly meant. Tonight, you'll uncover the night a Russian queen realized that the most powerful symbol in the empire offered protection to everyone except the woman expected to wear it. She was not raised to rule. She was selected. In the Russian court, royal brides were not pursued with romance. They were evaluated. Dozens of young women were summoned, their health examined, their behavior observed, their families quietly investigated, not for love, for suitability. The process was silent and final. When the choice was made, refusal was never discussed. She was informed, she was prepared, and she was delivered into a system already older than her name. The wedding was overwhelming. Gold filled the cathedral, incense hung in the air, voices echoed through stone halls. The crown rested nearby, heavy and unmistakable. And for a brief moment, the illusion worked. The crown looked like safety. It looked like authority. It looked like arrival. But crowns are designed to be admired from a distance. Up close, they explain nothing. When the ceremony ended, the palace did not celebrate. It settled. Servants moved quietly. Guards changed positions. Doors closed with deliberate finality. The room assigned to her was prepared carefully. Too carefully. Nothing was personal. Everything was intentional. Candlelight replaced ceremony. And for the first time since the selection, no one was watching her perform. At first, the feeling seemed simple. Isolation. She was surrounded by walls thick enough to silence the city, by servants trained to disappear, by a title that elevated her above everyone and placed her entirely alone. This felt like the danger. Power without companionship, honor without voice. And for a moment it almost satisfied the question. But isolation wasn't the trap. It was the entrance. Because isolation can be endured. Expectation cannot. The days that followed were measured. Meals prepared with precision. Physicians summoned regularly. Questions asked indirectly. The court did not panic, because panic implies uncertainty, and this system did not operate on uncertainty. She began to notice something unsettling. Her health mattered deeply, but not personally. It mattered structurally. One evening, she studied the crown again, not as a symbol, as an object, cold metal, unmoving, unaffected by presence or absence. And that's when the thought formed fully. The crown didn't protect her. It distracted her. It convinced her, briefly, that she was elevated above consequence. That illusion was the most dangerous part. There were moments when stability seemed possible. The physicians stayed longer. The court slowed its pace. The routine shifted. For a moment, it appeared the system was waiting, that the crown might still fulfill its promise. Hope surfaced quietly, and then nothing changed. Because systems do not adjust for individuals. They observe them. Late one evening, candlelight flickered against the walls. The room was quiet again. And this time, the realization settled completely. The crown was never meant to protect her. It was meant to keep her contained, elevated enough to obey, isolated enough not to resist, visible enough to replace. That was the trap. Not danger, containment. She would wear the crown for just 15 days, long enough to understand its purpose, not long enough to escape it. History remembers the length of her reign. It does not remember the moment that mattered most. The night she realized the crown was a trap was not the night she lost power. It was the night she discovered she never truly had it. Because in that court, queens were not meant to rule. They were meant to endure. And when they could not, The crown waited patiently for the next one.